Hello knitters, this is WJ and I'm showing you how to do a tubular cast on in order to work a beautiful 1x1 rib. So in order to do this you need to have some scrap yarn that's not going to be involved in the piece, as well as your working yarn. I've decided that my working yarn is going to be this white and my scrap yarn is the dark brown. So you take your scrap yarn and working yarn and tie them together in a slip knot and put that over your needle and tighten it up. So we are slip knot on the needle, and then we're holding your yarn like a long tail cast on. The working yarn is in the back and the scrap yarn is in the front. Sweep the tip of your needle under the scrap yarn, over the working yarn and back up, and then back behind the working yarn. So that's 2 stitches cast on. The slip knot doesn't count. And you're just going to do that until you have the correct number of stitches for the 1x1 rib. That's another one. All right. That's a start. Back, front, back, front. Okay, once again that's under the scrap yarn, over the working yarn so it pulls up, and then behind the working yarn. And you just do that until you have the correct number of stitches. The slip knot does not count as a stitch, and it's 1x1, and you have to have an even number. When you have all the stitches you want, you bring the yarn up to start knitting, or bring the needles up to start knitting, and holding the scrap yarn in front of the working yarn like that, you slip the tip of your right needle in, bring the working yarn up, and knit it. Then you bring your yarn to the front, slip that purlwise. Knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip. You're going to do that all the way to the end. Alright, so that was my last knit. Here's the last slip. Slip. The yarn goes back, and remember that's the slip knot, so it doesn't count, so you just pull it out. Then without letting go of anything, because you don't want to lose that last stitch, you turn your work and now we're on the wrong side. And you pull the tails out to the side, go into the stitch, and pulling your working yarn so that it kind of encloses those tails, that's going to help the stitch fasten off. You knit that first stitch. Then you do the same thing you did on the front, where you knit one and slip one, knit one and slip one. Here's my last stitch, so I just slip one and turn. Alright, so we're well on our way. So now we're doing the same thing again. Go into that first stitch, and with the working yarn, knit one and slip one all the way to the end. There's the last one, which you just slip. Turn the work, And this is the last prep row. Knit one, slip one. Alright, so that's at the end of the 4 prep rows. So now we get to do the fun part, which is taking out the waste yarn. So holding on to things, you just pull, and that waste yarn just slides out, and now you're done with it. And you can see that you have kind of a beautiful start to your ribbing. See how it carries right over? That's a tubular start for a 1x1 rib. And from here, you can either bend this and join it for working in the round, and then at the end you'll just have a tiny little seam to sew up with this little tail, or you can continue to work as it is, 1x1. That's it. It's pretty simple. If you have any questions, you can get in touch with me through my website, wjknits.com, or find me on Ravelry as WJ. Good luck!